Hello, listeners of The Voice. I am your host, Preet Bari, and the topic we are presenting today is pollution. The word pollution is not as simple as it sounds. It has more depth and it is far more concerning than people think it is. Pollution is basically the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. These harmful materials are called pollutants. Pollutants can be natural, such as volcanic ash. It causes imbalance to the environment, and this imbalance has threatened the very survival of all forms of life and a threat to the whole world. The pollution which we know from a very long time is only limited to soil pollution, water pollution, and air pollution. But the emerging types of pollution are very harmful and threat to the very existence of human life. These emerging pollutants encompasses chemical released from pharmaceutical sectors, endocrine disruptors, hormones, toxins, and biological pollutants such as micropollutants in soil, which include bacteria and viruses. So, here I am presenting a voice report by BBC on pollution.
Of the world's population live in urban environments, and that's only forecast to rise by 2030. The World Health Organization says that 9 out of 10 of us frequently breathe in dangerous levels of polluted air. These health costs are well understood. Pollution kills an estimated 7 million people per year. Meanwhile, a UK-based study looking at 2 years of crime in London in over 600 electoral wards found similar links. These are, of course, correlations, and we know that a correlation does not equal causation. The researchers too are aware of this, so the London team went further to identify polluted air gradually moves around depending on, say, the direction of wind. This takes pollution to different parts of the city at random. The researchers followed clouds of known air pollution daily and found that exactly where the pollution appeared, crime went up.
Pollution is leading environmental risk to health, causing 7 million premature deaths each year. This is equivalent to the number of people that have died from COVID-19 since March 2020. A recent World Bank publication found that air pollution cost the globe an estimated $8.1 trillion in 2019, equivalent to 6.1% of global GDP. More than 95% deaths caused by air pollution occur in low and middle income countries. In individual countries, the economic burden of pollution associated with premature mortality and morbidity is also significant, equivalent to the 5 to 14% of a country's GDP. It is critical to address pollution because of its unacceptable toll on health and human capital, as well as associated GDP losses. Pollution management offers no regrets option that can alleviate poverty, boost shared prosperity, and address the vital demands of millions of people for healthier and more productive lives. Alone, ground level ozone is responsible for millions of dollars in reduced crop production each year. Ground level ozone also damages the foliage of trees and other plants, affecting the landscape of cities, national parks, and forests and recreation areas. Sustainable urban and rural development. The other problem that humans are facing are ozone depletion. Ozone depletion can cause increased amount of UV radiation to reach the earth, which can lead to more cases of skin cancer, cataract, and impaired immune system. Too much exposure to UV rays is believed to be contributing to the increasing melanoma, the most fatal of the all skin cancers since 1990. The risk of developing melanoma has more doubled. UV can also damage sensitive crops such as soybean and reduce crop yields. Some scientists suggest the marine plankton, which are the base of the ocean food chain, are already under the stress from UV radiation. This stress could have adverse consequences for human food supplies from the ocean. Ground level of bad ozone also damages vegetation and ecosystem. It leads to the reduction of agriculture crop efficiency and commercial forest yields, reduce growth and survivability of trees seedlings.
Emerging pollution in India. Environmental issues in India. There are multiple environmental issues in India: air pollution, water pollution, garbage, domestically produced goods, and pollution of the natural environment are all the challenges for India. Nature is also causing some drastic effects on India. The situation was worse between 1947 to 1995. According to the data collected in an environmental assessment studied by World Bank experts, between 1995 to 2010, India has made some of its largest progress in addressing its environmental issues and improving its environmental quality in the world. However, pollution still remains a major challenge and opportunity for the country. Major pollution issues in India. Major environmental issues are forest and agriculture degradation of land, resource depletion such as water, mineral, forest, sand, and rock. Environmental degradation, public health, loss of biodiversity, loss of resilience in ecosystem, livelihood, security of the poor. The major sources of pollution in India include the rapid burning of fuel wood and biomass such as diet waste from livestock as the primary source of energy. Lack of organized garbage and waste removal services, lack of sewage treatment operation, lack of flood control, and monsoon water drainage system. Diversion of consumer waste into rivers using large land area for burial purposes, cremation practices near major river. The major sources of pollution in India include the rapid burning of fuel wood and biomass such as giant waste from livestock as the primary source of energy. Lack of organized garbage and waste removal services, lack of sewage treatment operations, lack of flood control, monsoon water drainage system, diversion of consumer waste into river using large land area for burial purposes, cremation practices, of high polluting old public transport and continued operation by Indian government owned high emission plants built between 1950 and 1980. Air pollution, poor management of waste, growing water scarcity, falling groundwater tables, water pollution, preservation of quality of forests, biodiversity loss, and soil degradation are some of the major environmental issues India faces today. India's population growth adds pressure to environmental issues and its resources. Rapid urbanization has caused the buildup of heavy metals in the soil of the city of Ghaziabad, and these metals are being ingested through contaminated vegetables, heavy metals, and are hazardous to people's health and known as carcinogens.
India is a party to United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, its Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. Under the Paris Agreement in 2015, India had submitted its nationally determined contribution, which is NDC, balancing the concerns and priorities of climate change, sustainable development, including poverty eradication and economic growth of the country. In August 2022, India updated its NDC, according to which India has enhanced target to reduce emission intensity of its GDP by 45% by 2030 from 2005 level, achieve about 50% cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel-based energy resources by 2030. Further, in November 2022, India has submitted its long-term low-carbon development strategies. India's long-term strategy rests on the 7 key transactions to low-carbon development pathway. One of these transactions will focus on promoting adapting in urban design, energy and material efficiency in the building, and the sustainability in urbanization.